Good morning. This is Mentally Unstable Makeup. I am your host, Unstable Tony. As you can tell by my hair today that I'm feeling a tad bit extra. So today I want to use my ABH Norvina Volume 2. I want to try being keyword here. I want to try to do a navy blue or a dark blue. I don't even know how to describe it. So you wing out the shadow to point. And then there's like these cool little dots for the wing. And since I struggle so much doing a wing, I thought maybe I can do like a scattery dot wing and maybe that'll work out. So this might be an epic fail, but come and watch if you'd like, and I'll try to explain what I'm doing, which is I don't know what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm going to put on, I've already got my foundation and my concealer, my brows, and like all that stuff on. It saves time. So I'm going to use this, which I've showed y'all before. I got these off of Amazon. They were like $100 for like $9. And then I cut them in half because if I don't, it's too big for my eyeball. So I cut them in half because I really want it to just help me create that really sharp line that I'm looking for in my faux wing. What the great thing about these two is that the sticker has where you can just take off this top portion instead of having to stick the entire thing to your face. And I love that because I actually only take the top part off. I leave the bottom part because I don't feel like there's any point in sticking that to my face, and it's easier to take off. So I'm going to try to place this so that it will make the shape of the wing out wing that I'm looking for. And because it's curved, it's a little bit more difficult. Sometimes I will use this flat side instead. It just kind of depends on the shape that I'm going for. So I'm going to put this, instead of putting it under my lower like I usually do, I'm going to actually cheat this out a little bit. And that's just so that I can angle this up a bit more so that my wing is sharp here instead of down a little bit. So once I get that where I want it, I press it in pretty good. Sometimes it comes up anyways. This is going to be the hardest part, is trying to get them to look the same. They're not going to be even because my eyeballs aren't even. So I have to really pay attention to the shape of the eyeball and then try to make sure that I get the angle at least similar. And this took me a long time to figure out how to do, and I'm still not great at it, but and see, it looks like it's angled differently, but when I do the shadow, it will make the shadow to be closer to similar. And it's still not where I need it exactly. And I mean, I don't have to be super duper precise because I can always go back with concealer and try to fix it, but I don't like doing that. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to go into is going to be my transition shade. So I do want it to be a blue, but I don't want it to be like a super dark blue because I kind of want to create almost like a fade going up. So just like I always do, I'm going to use a big fat fluffy brush. I think this is ColourPop. It's a ColourPop E2. And what shade do I want to go into? Gosh, this is hard. I think I'm going to go into this B4 shade, which is right there. I have been pleasantly pleased with these Norvina palettes. I do like this formula way more than I do the ABH, the little small ones. I feel like these are like way more pigmented, and I feel like they blend better. I also feel like they're not as, I'm going to say chalky, but I feel like they still have kick up, don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like it's as bad as the smaller palettes. Now I have heard, I've not tried any of the newer, like the Jackiana or the Carly Bible. I've not tried any of the newer, smaller ones, because I have heard that the formula in those is similar to these, and so maybe they revamped their formula. I'm not sure, but I've really enjoyed these. And I mean, yeah, they're $60, but you get a ton of shades, and there's a couple of shades in here that I've used over and over and over again, and I've not even close to made a dent in the pans. So that to me says that this is, even though it's kind of expensive, it's going to last me a while. And so I'm just, hang on, because for some reason this thing is flickering. It's a ghost. I don't know. So if you notice, I'm kind of dabbing, and then I'm windshield wipering, and then I'm just trying to fluff it out. And that's just so I can get this shade to the intensity that I want it to be. It's easier to build up than it is to try to take away. Okay, so because this created like this really heavy line right there, I'm going to take a much lighter shade on a really big fluffy one, like really big fluffy one, and I'm going to just barely tap into it. So I'm going to go into, what am I going to go into? I think I'm going to go into this one right here, which is B5, and I'm just going to barely tap it, and I'm just going to go over there just to diffuse that line a little bit. Because like I said, I wanted to create like a gradient. So this is just to help the blend. You could use white. You could even use setting powder. I've seen people use setting powder too. So you can use whatever. I feel like you can just use a dry brush too if you want to, but for some reason, in just my unpopular opinion, I feel like if you barely tap into another shade, I just think it helps with that blend a little bit better. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I got this a little high, so I'm just erasing it. Okay, so now with my next shade, I'm going to go a darker shade, and I'm going to go down in size of my brush. So big fat fluffy, go down in size. This is a BH Cosmetics, go figure. So now that I'm going down, I'm going to go into a darker shade. So this one almost looks like a purple. And I'm kind of wanting like a really dark navy blue. I'm going to go into C4, which is a almost like a turquoisey blue. And I'm going to concentrate that into my crease, and I'm just trying to deepen it up. So I'm keeping it in my crease until I get it the color I want, and then I will take circular motions and pull it up just a little bit. I always start on the outside and work my way in. I've seen people do it both ways. This just works for me. I feel like because it concentrates the pigment on the outside edge, and I like that I can control the pigment better that way. So I try to start on the outside edge and then pull in. Okay. So when I get that to the intensity that I want and blended the way that I want, I use another brush, and it's gonna be a little bit smaller, more so. If I can find it. Okay. So it's still fluffy, but it's even smaller. So now, and that color looks purple. I tell you what I'm gonna do. These were all mattes. I'm gonna go into this ColourPop Super Shock shadow, and it is in the shade Warrior. It is a metallic, so this, I hope this doesn't ruin it. We're gonna find out. But if you notice, I'm really coating the crap out of my brush. I'm gonna start this kind of in here because I want it to be on that edge. So I'm gonna concentrate it right there and then pull it to the edge. Beautiful, beautiful color. Beautiful. Another reason that I'm wanting this super dark edge like I want to is because I plan to go over it with the dots. And so the darker the base underneath there, the better the dots are gonna actually show up. Now, if you notice, I left room right in here. I did that on purpose to brighten up my face and to kind of bring the look out. I'm going to use a lighter color there, and that just helps brighten up the face. What I'm also going to do is use my duochromes. That way it has that interesting shift to it. So one shade that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use it like in the center just because the duochromes seem to catch light better. And this is by Norvina Cosmetics. And I don't know if you can, it's blue, but it's got a little bit of a purple shift to it. And this is in the shade Papaleo. And to put this on my eye, I'm going to use a flat brush, but it's going to be fluffy. And I kind of want it small so that I can really control where I put it. So it's a flat brush, but it's still kind of fluffy, but it's a little bit stiff. And these are from Doe Color, which Doe Color is another one. Their shipping takes for freaking ever, but their brushes are cheap and they're really, really good. Now I am going to spray it with my setting spray. Not that these shadows need that, but I feel like it helps me to control the fallout a little bit, because these do kind of have fallout if you're not really careful. So I'm just going to coat my brush. I'm going to still tap it, and I'm going to put this right in the center. Leaving room for a lighter shade there. I am overlapping it a little bit into that darker shade, just to kind of marry those together so that it's not like such a straight up and down line that, hey, I've added this color right here. And I decided to do this because of the way that these catch light, just to bring some brightness to this dark blue look. Okay. So now I'm going to get another brush, and I'm not going to use the same brush, and it's because I don't want the colors to mix. Plus, I need a smaller one. So it's just a little bit smaller, but it's still a similar brush. I think this is a Jaclyn Hill, which, by the way, these are trash. Don't buy it. I mean, I had nothing against her. I don't know her from Adam. You know, whatever the drama is, I don't care about any of that. But these brushes, like the bases of them have cracked when I've washed them. I still use them, but they've not been the best brushes. I just feel like there's cheaper brushes out there that are even better. Okay, so the next duochrome I'm going to use is this one. Isn't that beautiful? And it is in the shade Messier, Messier, Messier. I probably murdered that, but... So again, I sprayed my brush. I'm going to dip in. I'm going to really tap off. And the reason I used a smaller brush is because I really need to control this so that I don't get it all the way up in my eyeball. And again, I'm going to place it in this inner corner and then just kind of mesh it with that center shade that I added. This is such a pretty shade. Oh my gosh. And it is not capturing on camera like it is in person. Guys, these are special. And I've looked at a bunch of duochrome, like the Kaleidos and all of that. I've looked at a bunch of duochromes. I just can't bring myself to pay $20, $30 for a single shadow. I just can't do it. And these are fairly cheap for a duochrome. So I highly recommend these. I've been using them left and right. I've not had a single complaint out of it, other than you have to be really careful about the fallout. But other than that, I'm going to take this same shade and I'm going to just boop this in my inner corner. Boop. I will probably go over it again with a brighter highlight just to bring more light to that inner corner. But this is such a gorgeous shade. I just wanted to bring it down. Okay, so that's got the top part taken care of, so I can get rid of this. And see how it created that stark line like that? Okay, I am going to do a little bit on my bottom lash line, but I just want to be really careful that I don't overpower the look. I think I'm going to take this same one that I used for that center shade, and I'm just going to run that across my lash line just to see what happens. See, I like that. Because I'm not trying to do a super smoked out bottom lash line with this look. I want all the attention to be up at the top. I may need to dip in just a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to take that big fluffy brush that I did this transition shade, and I'm just going to gently, I didn't tap back into the product at all, and I'm just going to gently smudge it up underneath there just to fluff it out and blend it out a little bit. It adds a little bit of color, but not a whole lot because I didn't dip back into it. Now for my eyeliner, I want to use a really dark blue. So I am going to go in with, not that one. There it is. This is a Laura Geller. It's a Line and Define. It has a felt tip for a wing on one side, and then it's got this really cool crayon eyeliner on the other side. And I love these things. I have all three of the shades that these come in. I could not find them I think I got these at Ulta a long time ago. I couldn't find them on the site anymore, but I think you can still get it on her website. But I really enjoy these. They last a long time. They go on really smooth, even when my eyes like watering like it is right now. So I really enjoy her eyeliners. My kid is screaming. He must have done good on his game. Okay, so now before I do my mascara, I'm going to do the little dots. Now, I've only done this in theory in my head, so this might turn out to be an epic fail and may ruin this look, but we're going to do it anyways. So what I want to do is I want to use a small brush, if I can find it. Here it is. So it's just a teeny tiny brush, and this is a BH Cosmetics again. And what I want to do is I want to use my liquid lips for the colors, and then I don't have a white one, and so I'm going to try to use this ColourPop white eyeliner, and I hope this works. So I want to start with a darker, this is Mermaider by Black Moon, and it's a beautiful metallic, like a green blue. It's got kind of like a shift to it. So I'm going to shake this up and hope this works. So I'm going to take it like this, and I'm just going to dab my brush into it. And I'm just going to put dots. And I'm not really being careful about where or how like fat they are. Okay, I'm going to do it on the other side too. But if you notice, I'm staying in that line. Okay. Now I'm going to wipe off this brush, and I'm going to go into my next color, which is called Castle. It's like a metallic silver, also by Black Moon. It's a very dark silver though. And it doesn't matter if the dots overlap each other. And if you notice, I brought some down like that, but didn't put any over here. I'm trying to still keep that shape, like a wing shape. Okay. And again, I'm going to wipe this off. And this is Peacock by Lime Crime. It's almost like a turquoise shade. It's still blue, but it's like, I don't know how to describe it. And like I said before, I'm not being careful about where I put it. There's no plan. I'm just dotting. Okay. And so for the last color, I'm not going to use that brush. I'm going to use the felt tip, white felt tip. Oops. White felt tip of the liner. And if you notice, the dots are smaller than with that brush, but I kind of did that on purpose. See? Pretty neat, huh? Okay. So now I'm going to do mascara and then do a lip. So my favorite mascara is the Light Camera Lashes. I love it for the bottom of my lip, of my lash line. I think that it gives me lots of volume and helps separate, but it doesn't do a whole lot for length. So I will go back over it with my Bad Gal Bang, just like y'all. It's okay, I'll wipe it off. My Bad Gal Bang, just like y'all have always seen me do it, to help increase that length. And it does take a little bit. God, I keep getting it everywhere. Not a worry. I'll wipe it off later. So my Bad Gal Bang. I'm also trying to hurry. I don't know why I feel like I need to hurry up. I guess I feel like this part is boring. Like, it's not entertaining. And so everybody knows how to put on mascara. But I guess y'all could always just fast forward through it too. I always forget that YouTube has that feature. I did find out I can't go live on YouTube until I get more subscribers. So I don't really know how to make that happen. And I don't know if I really do want to make that happen. I don't mind. I love going live. I love going live more than I do filming this kind of stuff because of the fact that I have people to talk to and interact with, and I feed off of other people's energies, and it's a lot of fun. So I feel like if I could go live on YouTube, it would be really fun. Now, granted, it's probably a lot like Facebook, and when you let more people in, you start getting the little boogers. And so I'm afraid, golly, I'm getting mascara everywhere. You get more boogers and you get the trolls and you get the nasty people. So maybe I don't want that. I don't know. God. So now that I have mascara everywhere that I don't want it, let me try to clean this up. That was ridiculous. Okay. All better. So, last we have the lip. I'm going to line it just like I always do with the same thing that I always use because it's what works for me. It's the LA Girl Ultimate Lip in Keep It Spicy. This is my favorite, and I can't talk and do this at the same time, so hang on. Oh, as you can see, I messed up on that side. No worries. We'll just erase it off. And I got on my chin. I don't know what that is, but I got it on my chin. So I debated on whether I wanted to do blue lipstick or if I wanted to do a neutral with this look. You could do either. Like you could do a tan, nude type lip and it would be beautiful. I have so many blues. I'm kind of thinking I might want to go blue because I have this Circuit by Melt and I haven't really wore it. It is a matte, but I also don't want to take too much away from this eye look. I don't know what to do. Because I also have that mermaid, but it's more of a green than it is a blue. I think I'm gonna go nudie patootie. I know. So hang on. Okay, so Sugar Pill, y'all know, one of my favorite lippies, lipstick brands. This is in the shade Next. It's kind of light for me, but when it mixes with this lip liner, it'll be like a nude color for me. I can't talk and do this at the same time either. I use the point of the doe foot to line my lip, and then I fill it in. See, I think that's good. Blue would have been fun and all that, but I don't want to take away from the eye look. So, there's the eye look. I do need to do highlighter. And I'm not, I have a blue highlighter, but okay. So Kaleidos, which they are coming out with a new collection and I cannot freaking wait for it to launch. Like I cannot wait. I want all of it. I want the whole freaking set. I don't know that I will get the whole set, but I want it. I want it all. If I could ever get on a PR list, Kaleidos would be one of them that I would want to be on. I'm using that same brush that I used for the duochrome. I didn't even really wipe it off because I still want some of that glitter to be there. And I'm sorry, this is Skywalker. It's their blue one. So it's a white, but it has a blue shift in it. So I'm just going to brighten up that inner corner. Boop. And then I don't want to really do this on my cheeks, again, because I don't want to take away from the detail of the eye look. So I think I'm going to just go with a regular highlighter. So I'm loving the Give Me Glow in White Noise, which you guys know I've talked about this thing for a week now. Well, probably longer than that since I got it. And I'm just going to lightly highlight. I say lightly highlight. She gonna blind you. But I'm not bringing it down. Like usually I come down pretty far, but I'm not going to do that because again, I want to bring the emphasis up to the eye look that I did. Because when you put this kind of work into it, you want it to be seen. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of this and I'm just going to, in the center, just to bring some light to the lips. And then I'm going to take a much smaller brush. And this is a Sonia G. I got it in the Beautylish mystery or the lucky box, which, by the way, next year, if you can get your hands on that, get it. It's worth every penny. I loved it. I will definitely be on board with trying to get another one next year if I've got the money. Boop, boop. I am going to take that big fluffy that I used the transition, and I'm just going to gently rub it right here, just so there's not like that line of highlight right there. Okay, so that's it. I think it's super cool, super fun. It wasn't that hard. You just connect the dots, fa la la. Well, not connect. Put the dots, fa la la la. But that's it. So I hope you have an amazing weekend. And if you recreate this, tag me. I want to see what you do. It's Mentally Unstable Makeup on Instagram. So just tag me in it. I want to see it. Also, you can do this in any color you want. But that's it. Love yourselves. Love each other. And happy weekend.